What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't already signed up for it yet, you're just making bad life choices. Just go to scoresandodds.com and sign up. It's that simple. We have all sorts of picks from everyone you know and love over at RG, and you have me, Grant Neiffer, throwing out picks every single day. You have all sorts of access to fantastic tools like this little prop shopping tool here where it shows what RG projections have, where the best line is for both the over and the under. So absolutely fantastic product. Go over there, get signed up. And if you haven't already done so, go to scoresandodds.com/discord. I'm going to drop it in chat.com/discord and sign up. And you get access to the Grants Action Lounges. It's going premium after next week. Throwing in all my picks every single day. As you can see, all my picks from this morning, throw it in. We had two that already started so far, and I think they're looking pretty good. Had Giolito over 5.5 strikeouts, and we have Evaldi over 5.5 strikeouts. Both those guys in there. Evaldi sitting at 3 through 27 pitches, 2 innings. Giolito sitting at 2 through 2 innings, about 25 pitches. So both of them are looking pretty solid overall there. So go get signed up. But we got baseball, we got basketball. So instead of just going through every single game for both things, I'm just going to go bet by bet here and kind of break down my thought process, what I'm betting, why I like it, and whatnot. So far, doing pretty well on this show. We are up. Let's see. We are up just over 18K so far in just over 2 months. So sitting at a 12% ROI this month so far, 7% ROI last month. So things going pretty well, guys. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw them into chat, and I'll try and get through them throughout the show. But yeah, sorry if I'm getting a little winded. Just got over COVID. Well, still have COVID, but you know what? The worst bit's past me. It was a rough few days, but you know what? Lost 10 pounds, so that's pretty neato. But let's just break right into things here. Like I said, Evaldi, Giolito, bet both of them. Evaldi plus 165, so he ends up hitting them. Pretty solid overall start to the day. Basketball, we have Durant over 30.5 points. Now, NBA standings, this is an important time of year where we have to look at things. So the Nets are currently in the 8th place. How the play-in works, well, they're tied for 8th with the Hawks, and they could potentially drop all the way down to the 10 seed, which how it works is obviously the 7 and the 8 seed play each other. 7 gets home court advantage. Winner of that game gets the 7 seed. Winner of the 9th and 10th seed plays the loser of the 7th and 8th seed, and whoever wins that game gets the 8th seed. So every single one of these games is very important right now. So Nets are playing the Cavs, have a chance to tie them overall for the 7th seed here. I don't know how the tiebreaker works, but they're obviously still playing for something. Only 2 games left in the regular season, so this means a ton here. Durant has been a little bit hit or miss recently, but been playing 40 minutes pretty consistently. He'll play 40 minutes in this spot. Looking at his game log, 42-36 versus Houston. I think that game was a bit of a blowout, and he was playing great. 42, 45, 39, 41. So he's got to play maybe the entirety of the game here. Put up 32, 18, 55, 26, 41. It's just too low of a line here. Cleveland's not the same defensive team they have been. Mobley may end up playing this one, may not. I don't know. But regardless, still does not matter. Brooklyn has a 117.75 implied team total. Durant's probably going to get over 30 here, would be my guess. So I'm rolling with it. Next one, we got Karis LeVert over 1.5 blocks plus steals. And actually, I have LeVert over 0.5 blocks. So both of these kind of go together. You can get the over 1.5 blocks plus steals at plus 130 over at Caesars. And the over 0.5 blocks at plus 180 over at MGM. Looking at LeVert, we have him projected for over 0.5 blocks. So getting this number at, what is it? Plus 180, it's massive. LeVert should end up doing it here. I mean, we look at it, he hasn't had a ton of blocks recently. It's a matchup versus Brooklyn. They actually give up a decent amount of blocks. Should be on Kyrie would be my guess. Maybe on Seth Curry. But probably going to have a decent amount of chance at blocks. Decent amount of chance at steals. I like these steals plus blocks a little bit more. But we look last 4 games, he's at the over in 2 of the last 4. So getting these at plus odds, pretty decent plus odds, is solid here. So yeah, taking Levert over 1.5 blocks with steals and over 0.5 blocks. Next up, Terry Rozier over 2.5 3-pointer made. They get a matchup versus Chicago. Not great defensively. Caruso, I think, is probable, so he should end up playing. He hasn't hit this in the last few games, but the shot volume has been pretty solid overall. 7, 6, 5, 8, 7, 5, 8, 8, 9. So he's getting the shot volume here. Getting at minus 110. He should shoot all right here. Chicago's been getting a decent amount of 3-pointers this season. So Rozier over 2.5 3-pointers made is a solid overall bet. Minus 120 over at DK. One of my favorite bets on the board today is Trey Young over 27.5 points. Trey Young has been on an absolute tear. As I mentioned earlier, the Hawks still have a chance to get into the 7th seed. They'll be one game behind, or maybe they at least have a chance to get into the 8th seed with the Nets win, or with the Nets loss and a Hawks win. So they're going to be playing for everything. Going up against Miami really doesn't have a ton to play for. But Trey Young, he's been on an absolute tear recently. We see 30 points, 26 points, 36 points, 30 points, 41 points over the last 5 games. He's chucking. He's shooting well. And he's going to continue doing that. I know it's a tough matchup here. I really don't care. Trey's going to keep shooting the ball a ton here. So over 27.5 points. Absolutely fantastic line here. Minus 110 over at DK. It's my favorite bet on the board. Caris LeVert over 1.5 3-pointers made. Like I said, he's going to play a ton of minutes here. They need to win. If this game stays close, he's playing high 30s. We see 37 versus Philly, 36 versus the Knicks. We see his 3-point attempts here. Been a little bit hit or miss, but he's hit over 2 in 3 of the last 5 games. 1, 5, 7, 1, 4, 4, 6, 4. So he's chucking the ball a decent amount. Getting this at even money, I have this over a 50% chance to win. So obviously having some pretty positive EV here. Get it over at over 1.5 over at DK. And if you want to do in the alt line over at FanDuel of over 2.5, no problem with that at all. Moving on to the next one, Sengun over 3.5 assists. He's been playing a boatload of minutes. I mean, they obviously are in full-on tank mode, but they're still going to play him a ton of minutes, 36 and 32 in the last 2 games. We look at his assist numbers in that, 5 and 4. Like, he's going to get the minutes. Not really a huge assist guy, but just based on the sheer amount of volume, he should end up getting there. And the guy's solid. Potential assists per game numbers are solid. They run at a big pace, so they're going to be dishing the ball a lot. Over 3.5, got it at plus 130 over at Caesars. If you're over in Colorado, you can get, I think, at plus 135 over at Superbook. I think they limit you to $100, but that's a lot of money for you. You don't even have to max it out. But solid overall line, got it minus or plus 130 over at Caesars. Like it a lot. Aaron Nola, over 6.5 strikeouts, sitting at minus 120. So let's pull up plate IQ here. Let's go Oakland, Philly. As you can see, Nola, last 2 seasons, 31% K rate guy, strikes out both sides and even them out. We look at this Oakland team, they are awful. Yes, Kemp doesn't strike out a ton. Yes, Andrus doesn't strike out a ton. Most of these guys don't walk a bunch, and everyone else strikes out a ton. Murphy's sitting at 24.5% K rate. Pinder, 27%. Brown, 28%. Smith, 21%. Piscotty, 34%. Pesce, 34%. All these guys strike out a ton. Nola, while he does tend to go late into games early on in the season, I don't know if he will. The bat has him projected at 7.5 strikeouts almost. So overall, this line is probably a little bit too low here. I think he gets 7 here. Obviously, pitcher props are my bread and butter. They got like a 65% win rate last year. I don't know. I did very, 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 very well on pitcher props last year. Check out mine. Yeah, Giolito and Eovaldi both at 3 still. Let's go on to the next bet. Deandre Hunter over 3.5 rebounds. Got it plus 115 over at Caesars. Looking at Hunter's numbers. Let's see. Deandre Hunter. Looking at things. Yeah. So 4, 6, 10 rebounds over the last 3 games. Playing good minutes every single game. Probably going to play decent minutes here going up against Miami. Solid overall line. Should not be plus odds. Have this at a 50-50 chance of hitting. So should be a 7.5% ROI here, assuming we hit this half the time. Getting plus 115 odds. Divide 15 by 2, 7.5. So 7% and 7.5% ROI. Not bad at all. Andre Drummond over 1.5 turnovers. Guys, again, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in chat. It doesn't matter what they are. I'll try and get through to them throughout the show or throw them in the Grant's Action Lounge. Does not look like we have any. Andre Drummond going up against Cleveland. They have some bigs, especially if Mobley ends up playing. Looking at his turnover numbers, hasn't hit it much recently, but they're probably going to need his size here. So expecting more than his 17 to 18 minutes. I think he's going to be in the mid-20s. We currently have him projected for 22. I think that's a little bit low. But getting the over of 2 turnovers at plus 125. It's a solid overall line there. I hit it over on DK. Checking out Trey Young. Again, I bet his points over, but I bet his assists under. 10.5 getting at plus 100. I know they've hit that in 2 of the last 3 games. When we look at everything else that he's done, like 11, barely hit it. 15, easily hit it. 10, barely miss it. 9, 8, 15. So I think it's more than a 50% chance that he gets the under here. Getting it at plus 100 odds at MGM. Solid overall line. Milo in chat. What do I think about Deandre Hunter over 1.5 assists? Let me check it out. You said it's at 115 at DK right now. It might be better somewhere else. Assists. Sorry, I'm looking it up. Yeah, it's a plus 150 all over the place. I think that line's probably about right. I don't see a huge amount of value in it. Looking at DeAndre Hunter here. Look at it. I mean, he has hit the over in 3 of the last 4. I mean, you can. Plus 150 odds isn't bad. He's not really a huge assist guy. Well, how many minutes do we have him projected for? 31. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at plus 150. You can roll with that if you want. Last bet, and then get out of there. Sorry for the short show. Again, just getting over COVID, so don't really have a ton of energy. Let's see, Vooch over 32.5 PRA, -1. That's points plus rebounds plus assists. -105 over at Caesars. Going up against Charlotte, obviously one of the best matchups for a big. We look at what he's been doing lately. Hasn't been scoring a ton, but in this spot, I assume that he will. I assume a double-double's coming in there. I assume 20-plus points and a few assists. So that should be easily enough to get over 32.5 points plus rebounds plus assists there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to get out of here early because I need to watch Tiger play the Masters and nap. I do have some money on Tiger to win. I know it might not be a smart bet, and I forgot to put in a massive amount of money on Tiger to make the cut, but darn COVID got the best of me. Yeah. And Milo had, I wish I could sleep for 18 hours. It's been so bad. I've gotten like 4 hours of sleep a night. It has not been great, but the worst of it is behind me. Real pissed. I was supposed to go to Rockies opening day today, so I'm supposed to be leaving in 20 minutes to go get hammered in downtown Denver and watch the Rockies. It's absolutely incredible. Opening day for Rockies, like it's a madhouse downtown. There are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people just getting hammered. But at least now I've had both Delta and Omicron, so I really don't have to worry about getting COVID again. Good old natural immunity. But guys, thanks for joining. Again, go to scoresandodds.com. Sign up there. Go to scoresandodds.com/Discord. Get in the Discord. Again, it'll be free for another week. It's baseball and basketball right now. So you should be able to, if you just get in the Discord, bet what I tell you to bet. You should make enough money to pay for your yearly subscription to Scores and Odds. I mean, like I said, looking at our monthly summary, last month we had a 7% ROI. So I bet, well, let's see, I bet about 400 units. So if you're a 10 unit person or $10 unit person, then essentially I won, let's see, $500 units. That is 27 units. So if you're a $10 a unit person, that's $270. That's enough for the next 6 months of Scores and Odds Premium. If you've literally just been watching this show, you should have made enough at $10 units or even $5 units. Heck, even $2 units, it's enough to pay for the Scores and Odds membership. Like, it's that simple. Go, sign up, and just tail the turd. But it's been fun, guys. We'll be back again Monday, assuming I don't take a turn for the worse. We're out of here. See you, kids.